Hey everybody, I'm Adrian Bustamante and welcome to Food Deconstructed. On this episode, we're deconstructing the everyday BLT and reconstructing it into some amazing new recipes. This recipe is BLT meatballs with fresh pasta and heirloom tomatoes. I figured it's hard not to like spaghetti and meatballs, it's really hard not to like a BLT, so why not combine them both into one great new dish? So we're gonna start off by making some fresh pesto. So we're gonna take some romaine lettuce, chop off the edge here, and just to kind of get it in there, I'm gonna cut it in half again. Some parsley, cut it right above the thigh here. Get that in there as well. Take some Parmesan cheese. Love me some Parmesan cheese. Some pistachios. Clove of garlic. And a little bit of olive oil. Now, I'm gonna mix this all up. If the mixture becomes too thick, we can just add a little more olive oil to it nice and slowly. Place this on our food processor. Sure everything's down, put the top on, and process away. Should process into a nice, smooth pesto consistency that you're used to seeing. Chopping up all that lettuce. Open it back up, make sure I'm getting all the lettuce in there. Is a little thick, so I'm going to add just a little more olive oil while it's pulsing at a low level. Nice, looking better. Looking more like a nice creamy pesto. A little more olive oil. All right. Top off. Check this out. All right, we are looking good. So once that's all set, you're going to pull this off, set it aside for later. And we're going to start on our meatballs. Bring a clean food processor piece in. Now, for the meatballs, we're going to use some bacon, some ground beef, and some ground pork as our meat. So you get the combination of all those flavors in there. If you love meat, you're going to like this. Place that in there. All right, we're gonna get some onions. There we go. Some breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs and the egg are gonna help combine, bring those meatballs together so they actually stick and we can ball them up after we're done here. And now our spices. Just a pinch of each. We have some oregano, some cayenne pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. And I like a little extra garlic powder. All right, we're gonna place this all back in our food processor again. Before we start it up, we're gonna add some salt and pepper to it. Pepper. And place the top back on, and let's start to process this together. Nice. See all these blend up together. What we're going to do after this is once it's all done is we're going to ball up each piece and cook them in a pan. Now you can also, when you're cooking your meatballs, you can cook them in the oven as well. I like to do that from time to time, but today we're going to cook them in our pan. It's looking pretty good. The top off there, bring this off. Now I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the pan before we get ready to go. Now this is already set up. You can do it one of two ways. You can ball it up by hand. You can use a scoop. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a scoop and go in and place it in our pan. But if you want to make the meatballs a little bit bigger, you can either get a bigger scoop or you can make them bigger in your hand. There we go. It's looking good. Yep. One meatball. 2 meatballs. That should be good there. Now we can set this off to the side, and as these cook, we'll just put more back on if we need to. But we're gonna let those meatballs kind of cook through. And while those are cooking through, we're gonna take our fresh pasta and place it in our boiling water here. Now the water's already been salted for ourselves. Now this is fresh pasta, which you can buy at most grocery stores nowadays, definitely at specialty stores. And since it's fresh, it cooks a lot faster. Usually 2 to 3 minutes max, you're done. So once that's done, we'll strain that, put it off to the side, and we'll start getting ready to plate once our meatballs are done. All right, our meatballs are just about done. So what I'm gonna do is turn down the heat a little bit. I'm gonna dice up 1 or 2 heirloom tomatoes and also bring my pasta back in. So what we're gonna do is gonna dice this up, throw it in the bowl with our pasta, bring the pesto back in, and toss all of this great stuff together for our final plate. Beautiful. Again, this is a piece of the BLT, the essence of the tomato. We're gonna use heirloom this time as opposed to regular vine-ripened tomato. Throw a little bit of pesto in here, enough to allow us to toss this around and mix it up. All right, now we're gonna add the meatballs to our mixture. We're gonna toss them along with the pesto and the heirloom as well. All right, that's all in there. And let's just get this tossed around. Mix it around so that pesto gets about just over everything, especially the pasta with the meatball, the heirloom. This is the essence, or the complete definition of food deconstructed into something completely different. And you have the bacon in the meatballs, tomato coming from the heirloom tomatoes, the romaine lettuce cutting together for obviously building the pesto out of it. We are looking good. Now that that's all tossed, we are gonna plate. Bring in our bowl. Look at that pasta. Fresh pasta, fresh pesto sauce. Make sure we get some meatballs in there. And of course, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese over the top of it. Gotta have my cheese. And we are set. Time to taste. I like pesto. So that pesto sauce is really good. It's fresh, it's different, because you're getting a lot more from the parsley and the romaine flavors in there than you normally would. And the meatballs are amazing to me, because you have a combination of pork, ground beef, and bacon, but the bacon flavor shoots through the most, is what we were shooting for anyway, because of the BLT deconstruction. So you got that really bacon flavored meatball, that great heirloom tomato taste along with the fresh pesto and the fresh pasta, all comes together. You get that essence of a BLT, but then you get this whole new dish. Man, this is great. There you have it. Bacon meatballs and fresh pasta with heirloom tomato. Unbelievable.